My name's John, CEO and founder of Excellence. We run a portfolio of companies, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about ambitious people that have found this video and found out that they're actually pretty lazy. Maybe they've gotten into entrepreneurship and they are telling themselves the story that this just isn't for them. Maybe you found this video at exactly the right time, because I went from working a $15 an hour job to making my first $100,000 at the age of 24, and at the age of 25, I made my first $250,000. And it's been an upward trend since then, no matter the ups or the downs, because I've been persistent, built systems, built teams, and better improved my own mindset, my own approach to life. And it was all because of these following 5 steps. I just wanted to make this video for you, so hopefully wherever you are in life, wherever you are in business, this video's found you at the right time, and you're going to get something for watching it. So I'm going to drive forward and just tell you a little bit about it. So the first step, first of all, is you just need to make a decision. I see so many people like, yeah, I really want to make it. Yeah, I really want to be successful. Yeah, I want generational wealth, or I want to build a legacy. I want to leave something for my family, but I just really lack motivation. I don't know what to do. I just don't have the energy. I just don't have the time. I don't have the motivation to do it. And the reality is, for those people, they just haven't truly made a decision. Because to decide means to cut off. Like in today's language, we use the word priorities a lot, but it's not priorities that you need to have. It's a priority. One thing, right? It doesn't mean that you can keep doing what it is that you've been doing or that you're currently doing and be the person that you currently are. You must decide to be something else. You must decide to be something more. A prime example, your 10x self. I'll use myself. My 10x self would be he would be disgusted with the me that is right now. Does that make sense? He doesn't even want to be beside me right now, right? So you have to actually make the decision to cut off the old you, that old alternative. It shouldn't exist anymore as a choice or as an option of being. And once you've made that real decision, that's when the new life starts to be created. Like, that's when you stop trying and you actually start doing it. Like Yoda quotes, try not, do or do not, there is no try. Right? And I had a faraway mentor say to me, like, if I kidnapped your family and said, hey, figure this business thing out or else, would you figure it out or no? Of course you would. Of course you would, right? So you're either feeding that old version or you're feeding that new version of you. And that new version is exactly what it is you need to focus on. You need to focus on the person and having the person your 10x self has, the person that's capable of hitting their goals. How do they act? What are their characteristics? What do they do? What are their habits? What are their activities? What are their daily actions that they do or take into consideration? And what would it look like if you were already that person that was capable of hitting all your goals? Because that person's hit them. That's who it is that you need to be right now. Right now. Like, stop. Right now. That's who you need to be. You can't just wait and, hope that it'll magically fall into your lap, that those characteristics will magically fall into your lap. You have to make the decision. And it needs to be life or death, your family on the line. You need to be like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired of living another week, another month, another year, just like how I've always lived. I'm going to do whatever it is, whatever it takes to get out of this position, out of this story I'm telling myself about life, out of this state. It all comes down to that simple moment of you actually clocking that and making that decision. And until you do that, nothing's going to change. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right? Because most people, they're just interested. They're intrigued. They're like, They're like tickling. They're fanciful about legacy. They're fanciful about better quality life. They're fanciful about having more money or having more a happy palette. They're playing with the idea, tickling the idea of a better quality of life. But interested is not committed. They're not actually committed to going out and getting their butts kicked on their way to the goal. And that's why I'm saying like lazy, like ambitious but lazy. Like they're not taking it seriously. And this may be you, it may not be you. But that's step number one. Step number one is actually making the decision. Okay? Now, what it is that you need to do is you need to use whatever fuel you have. Whatever battery you have, time you have, energy you have, raw resources and materials. If you're charismatic, if you're energetic, if you're loving, if you're kind, if you're giving, like you need to use what you have right now to the best of your ability to get the highest output or the highest return on your effort. Okay, the highest return on your effort. I see so many people like, well, how do you stay motivated? How do you get motivated? The thing is with motivation, it fuels from an energy source. And you either fuel that from pleasure and just really wanting to create a better life for yourself or for your people that rely on you, or another way to fuel it is through pain. Another way to fuel it is through pain. Not another second, not another minute will I experience life on this level. I want to experience life on a different level. Pain is a very clean fuel source. Very clean. It burns hotter than pleasure. It burns hotter than pleasure. And what I mean specifically by this is you need to think about what it would feel like if you weren't able to ever live up to your potential. Les Brown speaks about how the cemetery has more dreams unmet than any other place. There's more potential in a cemetery than in any other place. So if you were never, ever, ever able to create the life that it is you wanted, you were never able to hit your goals, what would that look like? What would that feel like for you? Because the way I think about it is, like, imagine that I'm going about my life, and at the end of my life, I meet another John Smith. And I meet the John that was capable of hitting his goals. That he actually did it. He lived up to his potential. And then I imagine my current self meeting that person without hitting any of my goals, doing any of that stuff that I wanted to do, and then having to face that person head on and come to terms with that. Like, this is the life that I could have had. But instead, I choose, I like right now, the me that I am, I just make up a bunch of excuses as to why I couldn't make that reality real. And for me, that's like super painful. For me, that's that intersection realistically between pain and pleasure. That's the thing that motivates me. Like, I'm at war with myself. I'm not in competition with anybody else because I know if I put 100 or 200, it's late right now, right? I'm tired. My mind was going. My body's tired. My mind was going. I'm like, look, I know I have more to give. I know that this state is important. Let me go shoot some content. Let me go create for my FMM mentees. Let me go create a funding process. Like, let me do something. And what you should be doing is doing something that motivates you more than anything else. Use that as the fuel source. So that it's not I need to find no, I have this untapped void of stuff that I could pull from at any moment as a fuel source for you, that motivates you, that gets you out of bed, icks you, ticks you, tricks you. Don't think it needs to be some panacea, some like big magical positive thing in the back of your mind. Like, use whatever it is you have. There's no shame in using pain to shame yourself into action and doing the things that are required, because this junk's going to be hard no matter which way you cut it. It's going to be difficult. Everything you've ever done in life was difficult. Everything. You went to school, difficult. Quizzes, tests, difficult. You met a girl or boy that you like, difficult, awkward, weird, right? You made friends, difficult, weird, awkward. You went to high school, difficult, weird. You met a group, you clicked up with somebody, you were a loner, difficult, weird, awkward. You went to college, you got a part-time job, difficult, weird, awkward, right? You got good grades or bad grades in college, or you didn't go to college, difficult, weird, awkward, right? You went to you got a full-time job or found your career, difficult, weird, awkward. Got a dog, difficult, weird, awkward. Met your spouse or your partner or didn't. You're still a loner, difficult, weird, awkward. You built a business, difficult, weird, awkward. Like, everything is difficult, weird, and awkward. Does that make sense? So you don't want to be always stretching for things that you find difficult or things that don't motivate you. Like, by difficult, I mean, that's too hard, that's above me. Like, everything was above you. Everything was too far to imagine that you could do. But you still did it. And so what's changed here? You need to find what it is that motivates you more than anything else, be it pleasure or pain. Is it somebody's on their deathbed? Is it that the last funeral, nobody could afford the casket? Nobody could afford the cremation? Like, you need to tap into that, and you need to rub your face in that every single day to make sure you're doing what it takes to create the reality you most want. So you're like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be that other person that doesn't hit my goals. Like, doing that is just way too painful for me. Thinking about that, like, just imagine what the pain of regret feels like. Like, if you're serious and if you can commit, the way to do it, the way that you're going to get it done at the end of the day is by just looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, this ain't it. You got to make that decision first about the fuel that it is that you're going to use in order to attain your goals. And if you feel that pain, everybody tells you to numb it. Everybody says get balance. Everybody says ignore it. Hey, don't feel that. Comfort is key, right? No. Comfort is not key. Comfort is how people live the exact same life, the exact same day, week, month. They go on the exact same vacations at the exact same time every other year at to the exact same place. They spend the exact same money within their exact same budget. They eat the exact same dinners, the exact same lunches, the exact same breakfast. They have the exact same conversations, tell the exact same stories. That's not your dream life. Stop. So you have to find something as fuel to motivate you to do everything that you need to do to go after everything you most want. Use whatever fuel you got. That's step 2. All right, so step number 3. There's something that I see very, very, very few people ever do, and that is defining what your actual ideal day, week, month, or year, or life look like, right? Oftentimes when I meet people, I meet business owners, I meet that pitch offers to me. They're like, hey, I got this deal, or hey, I got this vision, or hey, I got this goal. And I say, okay, well, what does the dream outcome look like? Like, what are you trying to get to? And they're like, yeah, I just want to grow my business. Yeah, I just want to make some more money. I'm like, cool. Well, how much money do you want to make? And they're like, oh, I'm at $1 million. I'd love to be at $2 million. And immediately when I hear that figure, I know they haven't really clearly defined it because, one, it's a round number. Never trust round numbers. That's the first thing. It's like that number, it's not even an exact number. It's somebody else's number. It's not your number. Like, what is your number? Because whenever you get really clear on what it is that you want, the dream life that you're trying to build, you're going to know precisely exactly how much that you're going to need in order to attain that lifestyle. So that's like the best way. Like, if you went on a dream vacation, what would it cost? Now, what would it cost to do that 4 times in a year? What would it cost if you stretch that dream vacation from 3 days to 7 days, or from 7 days to 30, or from 30 days to 3 months? And if you wanted to do that multiple times and invite family and friends, what would that cost? And then what would it cost for food for a year? And what would it cost to grow your business for a year and hire 15 employees for a year? Like, that's your number to start, right? So you need to know it precisely, exactly how much money that you're going to need in order to attain that lifestyle, right? I often got told in the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey to define my dream life. I'm like, yeah, cool, bro. Like, what does that even mean? It's vague. Well, the way I found it to make it just boils down to something that's actionable, right? Think about, what does your dream day look like, right? What time do I wake up? What am I spending my time on? What time am I eating lunch? What am I eating? Where am I eating? Who am I eating with? What do I do in the afternoon? What does my ideal evening routine look like? What does that look like for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? What does that look like? What does my weekend look like? Actually define what a dream day and what a dream week look like. Hey, it could be like, I'm going to live in this house. Get specific. Is it bricks? Is it blue pen? Like, get specific. Is it windows full of beautiful high ceilings, blinds? Like, get super duper specific. And what you're going to do is you're going to go and figure out how much those things actually cost. how much is a suburb that you most want to live in? Go to like realestate.com, go to Zillow, whatever country that it is you're in, whatever real estate website you have by you, find out how much it would be to rent a house in that area. How much would it be for a mortgage or to buy a house? How much would you need down? Then what you do is you take a step further and drive to that place. Park on that street that looks beautiful with the voluminous trees and the beautiful lights that peek through all of the greenery. Sit there and yo butt better imagine what it would feel like to live there. Think about it. Look at jobs online and see, okay, how much is it to get a private chef? How much is it to get somebody that'll clean the house full time? How much is it that I'm going to pay one of these guys? How much are my fuel expenses going to be for my nice Ferrari or Lamborghini or G-Wagon? Where's my office going to be? Am I working remotely? Am I walking? What am I doing? Literally write down every single component of what it's going to cost you to live that dream lifestyle and then add it all up. Wherever you're at, the difference in between where you are right now and what it's going to cost you and what it's going to cost you to get there, like that's fuel right there. That's why your butt should be up early and up late in order to do what's needed to live your dream lifestyle. And if you aren't up early or if you aren't up late doing those things, you're playing. And so if you want to live your dream lifestyle, number one, define it. Define exactly, where it is that you want to go. And look, if you don't know that down to like a microscopic level of detail, exactly where it is that you want to go, I can tell you 10 out of 10 times you'll never get there. You first need to see it in your mind. You cannot hit a target that you cannot see. Right? Don't wish for a better future. Plan it. Write it down. Get very specific with exactly what that looks like. And that's step number 3, is define the dream life by first defining the dream day, which brings us to step number 4. This is all about engineering your environment, right? So if you're watching this, the chances are you know that things could be better and you know that you aren't where you should be, right? You're not where you want to be, right? And so if you're not where you want to be, you need to first engineer an environment that's going to be conducive of you getting to where it is that you most want to go. And more often than not, people have a whole bunch of people in their life or other forces that are judging them and they're holding them back. If you were capable, if the current version of you was capable of hitting all your goals, then you already would have hit them. And they wouldn't be your goals anymore. You'd have bigger goals. And in order to hit your goals and become the person that's capable, you need to change your environment. So you want to have a look at what your routine is like. What time are you going to bed? When are you waking up? You want to change that dramatically. If you're going to bed late and you're waking up late, then completely change that scenario. If you're waking up at 7 and you think that's okay, wake up at 5, right? Change the way or the style in which you dress. Change the city you live in. Change your look. Shave your head. Do something that's dramatic that cuts off the old version of you, because the old version of you is your environment. And you need to really, really control that thing. So if you're hanging out with people that aren't where you want to be, you need to cut them off. You need to find new people to hang out with. Join a mentorship. Do something different. Right? If all you were doing was listen to music, you need to stop that. You need to go to YouTube University. You need to bury yourself in actually making a better life. You need to change something. Okay? If you want to change, then you have to change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Don't think that you can do like all the same stuff in the same environment and that you're in like the right place, the right mindset. Like that's not how it works. You first need to make that change that you most want to become. That's how it works. So if you're working out at a dingy gym full of broke bums, change that. Go work out somewhere else. Run in a different place. Work in cafes and in hotel lobbies, in places that smell like money and smell like affluence. Like that's going to change your environment rather than working in a dingy room or working in a crappy office. These are all things that you can do for free. Like go work from a public library. But you need to make a clear change. Engineering your environment's a massive hack. All right. For me, when I was 18 years old, I literally packed my bags and I moved to the other side of the world. Okay. I knew that I wasn't where I wanted to be. I had to change something dramatic, and I couldn't get any more of a dramatic change than moving to literally the other side of the world. And that's step number 4, engineer your environment. And this brings us to step number 5, the fifth and final point. You need to build unstoppable momentum. Unstoppable momentum by tracking all the little wins. Everything that it is that you're doing every single day, every single week, every single month, every morning that you say that you're going to wake up at 5 and then you wake up at 5, you're going to mark that down on a piece of paper. Put a line on it, right? Because once you've cranked out 5 of those, put a line on all 5 of those lines and you'd be like, okay, snap. I'm building a muscle. I'm actually doing this, right? I'm keeping the promises that I made to myself. Every time you get a workout in, every time you make a cold call, every time you post a piece of content, every time you have an uncomfortable conversation or you reach out and you finally get a response, mark it down. Those are little wins. That's momentum. And momentum doesn't start by having some big, monumental win. Like, they start once you start stacking them one win at a time. And the only way to brainwash yourself to become successful is to show yourself that you're capable of becoming successful. Successful people get successful through little wins that compound over time, that nobody applauds, nobody sees, nobody says, pat on the back, great job. No, they just do what's necessary and do what's required every single day, whether it feels good or not. Tracking those micro wins, those little wins along the way, that's another thing that's helped me a lot. I plan tomorrow every single day. Every single day, I have a calendar reminder in my calendar to plan the next day. And it allows me to take stock of all the wins that I had that day. I have a look and I'm like, all right, cool. What do I need to get done today? Based on the wins I had yesterday. And it gets you on the offense just straight out the gate, right? That way, when you wake up the next morning, you're not thinking about what it is you need today to get a win. You're like, I'm going to just let the wins compound. Let the wins compound. I already know what it is that you need to do. Already is that I need to do. I just wake up and I can violently execute on it. And the biggest thing is stop watching edutainment, right? Education, entertainment, which is a lot of these videos on YouTube that you're watching to get motivation or watch some guru online and you're getting a dopamine hit and feeling like that's the thing that's going to give you a little bit of fire that you need to go out there and get at your goals. That's not good fuel. That's like mental masturbation, brain gum, right? If you're going to continue watching YouTube videos, here's a rule. For every single video you watch, you're going to write down one thing that you're going to take action on. And you must take action on it before going and watching all these other videos. Because I see so many people that think I'm educating myself online and that's getting me closer to my goal. Load of crap. Big load of crap. The only thing and the only way you're going to get closer to your goals is by actually taking action. And the only time, really, that you want to go out there and educate yourself on something is when you have a bottleneck, when you're stuck. And the only reason you should be stuck, or the only point at which you get stuck, is when you don't know what you should be doing. Right? So there's some constraint in your life and in your business that you're trying to improve to get to the next level. But most people don't focus on the constraint. That's just not what most people do. They just constantly end up in a loop of educating themselves and then never taking action on anything. And then they get overwhelmed, frustrated, and frantic and antsy that they don't have the money or the structure or the progress that they expected. And these are people that pay a lot of money to get into mentorships, right? So if you're going to keep watching videos, just make sure that you write down one thing and you take action on that one thing in order to give yourself permission to watch the next video. Cool? So this is how you stop being lazy and actually enjoy the world that you're building while you build it. Actually get stuff done. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that wherever in the world this video finds you, that it saves you a whole lot of heartache, a whole lot of wasted effort, and that's heartache and wasted effort that I myself had to go through from chasing my tail. You don't have to chase your tail. Stay dangerous, take action, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.